Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on another video. Today I want to talk a little bit about what happens to your mental health when you go on a carnivore diet. And as you can see, I am at the beach. And the reason I'm at the beach is because I've been struggling a little bit with my mental health this week. I've had some stressful things going on. So when I get stressed, I like to go to the beach, and I'm very lucky to live really close to the ocean. So I come out here for a couple days and get my head back on straight, and it just relaxes me, it calms me down. When I'm at the beach, I think anything's possible. So today, let's go sit down somewhere and let's talk a little bit about mental health on the carnivore diet, both good and bad, because good things happen, but some bad things happen as well. So let's talk about that. Okay, so we are here at one of my favorite places, and let's talk a little bit more about mental health and the carnivore diet. Some of the bad things that I've noticed in my personal life, it's just the questions from family members, from coworkers. Everything is a little bit more difficult when you are dealing with situations with other people. So, like, I was at work and they were getting food for everybody, and they're saying, "Hey, what do you want to order?" And nobody knew at that time that I was like a carnivore and I only ate meat. So, kind of coming out of the closet as a carnivore was a little bit difficult, and I didn't realize that that would be making me feel as uncomfortable as it did. So I had to ask, well, I can't have a sandwich. Can you just order me the meat? Just we were going to a sandwich place, and so they had to order me a unwich, and they didn't have the kind of meat I wanted, and then it was just like a whole sort of hassle. And I just felt a little awkward about it. I mean, it all was fine, but it's just a little thing that you kind of have to deal with. Also, like family was coming up. I've had a couple times family members have come to visit me, and you have to spend a lot of time thinking about where you want to go eat because Mexican is not really super conducive to carnivore. I've noticed, not at all. You want to go someplace where they might have a steak, where they might have a burger. You can just order without the bun and such. So you really have to pay attention to that. And sometimes, your family might not understand. They might kind of go, "Oh my gosh," and then that makes me feel weird, and unusual and different. And sometimes I don't want to feel that way, you know. So these are some things that I didn't really see coming. Another thing that is very difficult when you're on the carnivore diet, for me, and it's very frustrating, and it really tweaks my brain a little bit, is when you have friends or family members that have health issues that 100% could benefit from the carnivore diet. And a lot of the things that they complain about constantly can be solved, and they don't listen to you. They think you're kind of a quack, or they're not willing to research it on their own. They're just happier just to go along their way and be miserable. And it's so frustrating. Like, it really makes me very upset sometimes because they're complaining about things, and I'm like, you don't need to complain about this. Why are you complaining about this? The answer is here. It's right here for you. And they just don't get it. They're not willing to do it, and it's not hard. As we've seen, it's not hard to be a carnivore. You don't have to have special equipment. You don't have to buy crazy things. It's so easy. Um, and that really, sometimes it puts a barrier between you and that other person, because you don't want to be pushy and say, "Oh, you got to do this and this is so great," but when they're not ready for it. You just kind of got to back off and say, "Okay," but it's just this mental thing that really bugs me. So now let's talk a little bit about the good things about the carnivore diet that help your mental health. Um, and it could be as simple as this. I always visit my daughter, and she has stairs in her house, and I would always go up, and I would go up the stairs, and I would be exhausted by the time I got up there, and I would go into her room and I would have just be like that. I had to sit down. So the other day I went to visit my daughter. I went up the stairs. I was just chatting with her in her room and I didn't think much of it. And then I sat down and we were just chatting. And then I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm not I'm not suffering. I'm not breathing heavy. And I thought back to the previous time I was there a few days before and I said, "Wait, I wasn't I wasn't huffing and puffing then either. How did this happen?" um, and that is such an amazing unintended consequence with this diet because I didn't realize it would actually help my muscles so much. I'm going on walks and I'm going up things, and I'm not nearly as um, out of breath as I would normally be. And it just makes me feel so much better about everything. Another one that I never thought it didn't even occur to me when I started doing this. But because I do the diet, because I lost the weight, I can go into shops. My little town has lots of like boutique sort of shops. And I used to go in there and knowing that I can't fit into anything here, but I can buy a scarf. So that's why I have so many scarves in my van if you've seen the other videos, because that's always something you can buy, right? You can buy shoes and scarves no matter what you weigh. I used to go into boutiques or even just regular stores like the Gap. um, and I would go in just to browse and see what they have. This was, when I weighed more. Um, and I would feel all the time, I would feel like the employees were like looking at me like, what are you doing in here? You can't buy anything here. You can't fit into anything here. And I would feel so bad about myself. I would just be like, oh my gosh, I better leave. I don't fit in here. This isn't where I should be. And so now that I've lost the weight, um, and I can go into stores and not feel uncomfortable and not feel like people are looking at me, judging me, like, what are you doing in here? That is just the biggest blessing. That is just amazing. And when I started the diet, I never thought about that. I never thought that would be happening. And so this is a sort of benefit of the diet that is amazing. It has changed my life, a lot. And that has helped my I feel so much better about myself. And when you feel better about yourself, your mental health just improves. It just improves no matter what's going on. It's incredible. The last thing I want to talk about is now I haven't discovered this in my life yet because my brain waves, my brain doesn't work all that great. I don't know if it's my age or what, but a lot of people say after a few months on this diet, their mental clarity just gets so much better. They can focus on things more. They can remember things more. They're just, like I said, they're happier. They're not as anxious. If they struggle with depression, that tends to go away. So just the benefits of this diet on your mental health that you might not think of when you start the diet. You might just think, oh, I'm doing this to improve my body health or lose weight, but it will actually improve the way your brain functions as well, because sugar and carbs and all that is not good for your brain functioning, because again, it's fat. Right? And when you're like this, your brain can actually think about what it's supposed to think about instead of about what's going on in your body that that is not supposed to be happening. So I've given you some good things and some bad things that have to do with your mental health on the carnivore diet. And I would just encourage you to give it a try. Give it a try. You won't regret it. It's so easy. And follow this space, subscribe to my videos, and check out some of my past videos. I've made some super simple recipes. And I just kind of talk about how easy it is. I mean, like, I do it in a van, and so easy. So I just want to encourage you to give it a try. You will not regret it. So that's going to be it for now. So I'm going to say goodbye from the beautiful Oregon coast that I am paying $0 to visit because I live in my van. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.